Welcome back to another episode of All Things Extraordinary with Kish. I'm your host, Kishaunna Johnson. How's it going for you today? I hope you had a good night rest. No? Well, that's fine. I could recommend something. Pumpkin spice latte. Yay! No? Okay, well, maybe just plain old French vanilla. Decaf though. All right. Or just tea. Just get some breakfast. But listen, I want to give you a meal today. I want to offer you a mental workout because I'm bringing you part 2 of Stuck Places. Yay! I want to thank everyone for your contribution. Thank you for your feedback and your reviews, your text messages, your phone calls about Stuck Places. Last week's episode, I felt in my heart that it could change somebody's life. I pushed beyond the stuck feeling I was having waking up that morning to come in the studio and to make sure I deliver. Because I felt like if I gave into these feelings right now, how would I feel at the end of the day, right? So sometimes when you push, you're able to produce greatness. And I know that was something that, as one of my friends said, you made me want to get up off this chair and go do something with my life. It was a strong dose of motivation. And she really felt like it touched her. And she also recommended to me, you need to do more parts to this because, baby, you haven't even began to scratch the surface of Stuck Places. And I started to look at that for real. And I realized that there's so many of my brothers and sisters who are in some places that I couldn't even think of on the show. I shared my testimony. And if you missed last week's episode, please go back and listen to it and then come back here and then just share. That will be how you help me to bring solutions about getting out of stuck places. We all can partner in this together. Can I depend on you? Can you find one other person to share this with? And don't let anybody tell you, oh, I'm not in a stuck place, and give you any message and any scriptures and any great statement, because we're all having an area in our lives of weakness and a point where we feel stuck. And maybe you've overcome that. Maybe you were just there yesterday. And maybe another stuck place is up ahead. So this information that we're sharing with each other, the testimonies, the questions that we're asking, it is only going to make our entire life experience better. So join me again for part 2. Today, I attempt to answer questions that were submitted by some of you about stuck places that you're in. Some of them are kind of making me cry because you know what? I can relate to it. Some of them I can't even imagine. But we're going to cover as many of these questions as we can today and maybe pick up in the next show. All right. I also have an announcement of where we're going next with this podcast, and I need you to stay here for it. This is my home and I'm happy to be here. If you like what's going on, I need you to subscribe. I need you to like, and I need you to keep on following. Put your name on the email list so that whenever we upload a new episode, you won't miss it. I believe this will be one of the podcasts that you look forward to on a weekly basis. I'm just going to speak that in the atmosphere. All right. That's the kind of positive vibe I'm bringing out here. That's what we're about, because that's what we want to attract. Okay. So let's get into it. At that point in your life when you know that you've heard enough motivation, you've seen a lot of inspiring stories, and you're looking at your own life and you're like, I haven't done too bad. I have accomplished this, and yeah, I've done some great things. But you cannot ignore the fact that you have a stuck situation that needs to be confronted. You need to reckon with this thing. Because the fact is, the less attention you give to it, the more it magnifies, the more it continues. So we want to put the fire out. We don't want to just cover it up. We don't want to turn it down low. We want to put the fire out because it's burning. It's paining us. Stuck place, you gotta go. All right, let's get into these questions. Are you ready? Question number 1. What can I do when everything that can go wrong has gone wrong? And every time I take 1 step forward, I get pulled 2 steps backwards. And I feel stuck and overwhelmed. Now, this is a loaded question, and there's a lot that is going on here for me to unpack. What can I do when everything that can go wrong has gone wrong? We need to explore that everything right there, because I'm pretty sure it is not everything. You feel that way because you said later on down here that you're overwhelmed and you're feeling stuck. So when you're feeling overwhelmed, it means that you are running out of options and solutions. And when you feel that way, it will seem as if everything in your life is wrong. But the fact that you can still sit there and know you're feeling that way, that is a solution. That is a fact that everything is not wrong because your brain is still working. You're still breathing, right? All right. So everything is not wrong, but I know what it is that you're trying to explain. There are just too many things that are going on here, right? That would probably be a better way to put it. First, I would recommend, and I just want to put as a disclaimer out there that I am no clinical psychologist or doctor or mind coach. I am simply here to answer some questions based on what I believe I have in me, my purpose, my gift, and my calling. I'm here to answer questions because I've spent the time to analyze situations for myself and to really think about things. I do a lot of research. I am a transformation life coach. Does that qualify me to deal with everything in life? Absolutely not. I am an educator. I'm just here to make an attempt to help you out of your stuck place. So shout out to you from my place of overcoming. I also want you to know that there are areas in my life that needs improvement. There's nobody who is perfect. Let's just clarify that right there. Maybe you can help me out of a stuck place. And this is why we're sharing. So for you asking this question, my dear, I would say explore what is the stressor. Can you identify it? What or who is causing this stress? What is causing all of these problems? If you can narrow that down, because most of the times we can't even figure out what the real problem is. And if we cannot figure out the real issue, we cannot begin to solve our problems. So I need you to sit down for a moment and try and figure out who or what is the main stressor here. And let's try and eliminate the stressor. And that's how you're going to begin to have clarity. And as I go along in answering a couple more of these questions, there might be something else in that for you. I hope that helps. All right. So identify the stressor and make every attempt to eliminating it. All right, let's move on. Go ahead.
Hi, Kish. I really enjoyed the episode last week where you were sharing Unstuck. And I have a question. How do you move from a place of stagnation when you look around you and the resources are not available? How do you move? You feel like you're in a tight corner and a lot of the things that I want to do, I'm not able to do because I don't have the resources. I don't have money. Everything takes money, and I don't have that right now. But I do have a passion, and I really want to move from where I am to my purpose. But I just don't see the money or the other resources.
Okay, thank you so much for your question, and it's perfectly fine to remain anonymous. I will make an attempt to answer your question. So you pretty much what you're asking, how do you're in a stuck place because you are not seeing that you do not have the resources. You said you do not have the resources to come out of a stuck place.
Yes.
All right. All right. Thank you. Stay tuned to the show to hear the answer.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good one. Bye. And I have the perfect quote that I found here that I believe would help with this response. Okay, so for that question, I would answer with a quote from Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone, the money magnet, the 10X author and teacher of the 10X University. And he made this statement, which I absolutely love. And it says that obscurity is a bigger problem than money. Obscurity means that things are just not in view. You're lacking some insights. You're lacking some information. And what you see as your problem is money. There might be a few more resources that you're looking for, maybe like transportation, something that money has to buy. I believe your question is really, how do I finance movement out of my stuck place? Out of your stuck place requires some kind of money. Everything in our life requires some kind of money. However, when you are making money, when you're getting money, what do you do with that money to help you out of your stuck place? That is the issue. I shared my testimony last week that when I received my tax return, I took $400 out of my tax return and started my hat business. In the pandemic, Ellie Talks Money, someone I absolutely love listening to Ellie. She became a millionaire in, I think it was 10 months, but less than a year though. And she started a business in the pandemic with her stimulus money. That first $1,200, you remember those money? Okay. She used that money as a seed to purchase a camera, purchase a little tripod and a ring light, and began to make videos on financial assistance to people who are broke. She had just come out of a divorce, raising 4 children, I believe. Yes, don't quote me. And having to come home to share residence with her mom. She was in a stuck place. She decided that this money that I have can either feed these kids, help my mom with some bills or something else, because now we can't afford to take risks with money, right? Because it's a pandemic. However, that $1,200 stimulus check that was given to her, it wasn't even her money that she worked for. She turned that into $1 million business. And today she is one of the most prolific female business coaches. So your obscurity is what to do with any kind of money that you have. You just need some knowledge as to how to invest that money and how wisely to use it. I will also let you know that not every situation of breakthrough starts with money. Because if you think about it, if you had the money, you would spend it and lose it because you do not have enough information. You do not have knowledge. So sometimes it's good when we don't have money because we figure out another way to finance, to afford our dreams. I still have not gone out to get a big loan or a business loan on my initial hat business. Here's how I operate that business. I transitioned that business into a custom-based business where I actually wait for money to come in from the clients to purchase materials. But how I start is to advertise. I start by advertising the business. I start by sharing the opportunity. I start by promoting a photo. And then I go on a basis of pre-sales. All right, this hat will be ready in the next 7 days. Put in your orders. I pre-sale it. I put a cost. Now I go on a campaign to sell and market that product by my advertisement. I have no inventory. I have no money. I started with a photograph. Sometimes these photographs are inspired photos of pictures of persons wearing hats. They weren't hats that I made, but I chose something that I know I was capable of creating, recreating a version of. Okay. And so I market or advertise. So if you're thinking of starting a business in decor, and you're thinking of doing a balloon business, right? You can get pictures off the internet, because there's so many, of balloon decorations, and you put out, are you looking for a balloon decorator for your next event? You have no money to start this business, but you're starting the business from advertising a finished product, which is just a picture. Most people, that's all they need. Oh, that's what I'm looking for that. I need to call her. When they call you, you are going to provide a cost that involves purchasing the materials for your business, registering the business, transportation, all of what it's going to take for you to start the business. You're going to price this very well. Or if you don't want to chunk all of that cost on someone, then you're going to go with a numbers game. You're going to advertise this product. It's free to advertise on your Facebook pages. So again, when you're telling me you don't have resources, you have obscurity, because you can use your social media profiles that are free to promote a product to start making money right away. Right away. There are resources. There is never a time when we never have resources to start on any aspect of our dreams. You just don't know how. So I'm giving you a how right now. Start by promoting and advertising the product and offer pre-sales. Can you sew? I need you to make a skirt. I need you to model that skirt, put it on your body, or find a model, a sister, a friend, a daughter, I don't know. Take some pictures, put on social media, slap a price on that. You are going to begin to get orders, and that is how you start your business. On a customer per customer basis. Now, when you have enough customers, you have enough money to register your business, get yourself in the position to start applying for a business credit card or a business loan. Hey guys, there's no such thing as not having resources. Next question. Yes, okay. Now for the next question.
How do you do ministry and take care of your family when the ministry has a great demand and family also has a great demand? How do you balance, taking care of ministry and family at the same time?
That is a great question. So listen up, everybody who knows for a fact that you have been blessed with a gifting and a calling from God, and that you have a ministry to perform. This is going to help a lot of you. I have a minister in my life, being a preacher's wife and doing ministry myself. We've had to figure out as a ministry couple how we were going to balance everything else in our lives. So I think I have a little bit of a background here and a little bit of a qualification here to attempt to answer this question. Anyway, so listen up, guys. Prioritize. What is your number one priority? Family or the ministry? And that is a tricky question. It's up for the debate, because what you do for God, we hear that it's so important and it is what matters the most. But God has set up a framework for family, which a man should take care of as his number one priority. When he gave Adam Eve and took her from his rib, that meant everything about her was going to be something that pulls on his heart. And so taking care of nurturing that woman and the children is going to be something that you need to prioritize. I've seen so many ministers and just go off in serving the church and doing the work of God, and it comes with a price, because there is a strain, and so it does pull on you, and you will have to decide at some point who to give more of your time. There has to be a balancing. I'm not telling you to cheat one and serve the other. I'm just letting you know that there needs to be a balancing, and that you invite your family into that moment with you. I think the question here is more of, how do you keep a job? How do you maintain a job when you want to do ministry? Well, you need an income to fund your ministry. There is no ministry that can operate without funding. I'd also recommend that you, however, choose a job that will not interfere with your time or your opportunities for ministry. For instance, if you need to be in church on Sundays, obviously you can't be working on a Sunday. So you will have to set yourself up in life. The moment you said yes to God, it's also meaning that you're saying yes to making the right decisions that will bring the balance in your life. So no one, such as their family, your wife, and your children, will not perish as a result of your decision to accept the call. So it's a major responsibility when you're accepting the call. It's all fancy to go to an ordination. It's all fancy to say yes. It sounds really good. It's fulfilling to your heart, your soul, and your spirit. But have you also answered to the demand that it will bring on your life? You will be at work and want to just be home doing something else, like interceding or something like that. So you will have to have a job that opens up an opportunity for you to still do ministry. And I believe in those cases too, you will still feel like you're not doing enough, because when it comes down to doing anything for God, we never feel like we're doing enough. And that's a good thing. That's a good feeling. That is okay. But you need to make sure you're doing enough. And it will all come down to the job choices that you make. It might even be beneficial for you to become an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur doesn't mean you're going to work less. It means you will have to work more and plan your time. It's just going to give you freedom of your time, rather than having to answer to a boss and clocking in and clocking out at a specific time. Now you will need to set your own time, so it can be an advantage for you. I hope this helps you. Again, prioritize, make a choice for the career that will give you opportunities for ministry, but you do need an income to help your family and also to fund your ministry. All right, next question. This one just came in. I sometimes feel stuck transitioning from an employee to a full-time self-sustaining entrepreneur. And I'm going to group this question with another one that I received from someone earlier on.
Kish, I have a question for you. What do you do when you are stuck in an unfulfilled job that pays the bill? You can't leave the job because it is the source of income that takes care of your financial needs. At the same time, you're completely unfulfilled in the job. Please unstuck me.
Listen, I'm going to make an attempt to unstuck you, because that is such a great question. And if you guys can see a commonality running through, did I say that word right? A commonality running through these three questions. So I'm going to repeat the first one. You heard the last. It was loud and clear. And the one prior to that was, I sometimes feel stuck transitioning from an employee to a full-time self-sustaining entrepreneur. And third question, why am I stuck on a job even though it doesn't pay me well? So we have a contrast in this one. So the first question I'm going to be answering is, you have a job that is paying you well, but you hate it. Right? That's pretty much what I heard when he said that. The job pays the bills, but I'm stuck. I feel so stuck. I want to get out of this place. I want to rip these clothes off. Just get me out of this cubicle or this office desk. I don't want it. I want my freedom. But wait a minute. How do I answer the bills? What do I say to my wife? How am I going to do this? I mean, what about the car note? The mortgage? You cannot move. The job literally keeps you stuck. If you know I'm talking to you right now, you need to let your girl know, because your job is great. You've had it for years. It gives you so much security, but my God, I hate it. I just can't do it anymore. You want to retire. Well, you're missing out. Can I tell you, on a fulfilling and a happy life, because you cannot let go of comfort and stability. The security that the job gives you, while that is good, you're going to fail in other areas of your life, your areas of creativity, especially that part. where you can live life, live it out loud, fully, and just in abundance, and just smell the roses as you go along. Taking risks. That's how we evolve as a people. And if you're not evolving, if you're not connecting and making new networking company, that's not a good quality of life. That is not a good quality of life. You will have to make a decision. And I've seen many of my friends made that decision. They've made the decision that, you know what, it's all good here, but it's a bye. Bye-bye. Next year is not going to find me in this position. I need to grow. I need to breathe. And you have to set up some escape strategy. You have to set up some, plan Bs. You need to set up a framework for you to move. Don't just quit cold turkey. Just walk off of it because the frustration of just feeling so stuck and you cannot do it anymore. Don't do that. Plan it out. All right. Make a strategy for this move. God forbid if one day you just come to work and hear everybody's made redundant. We're selling out this whole department. Now they've made a decision for you without a plan B. So before it gets to that, where you just decide to get up and go cold turkey style, or they decide to shut the doors on you, right? Make your plan of exit right now. Start a little side hustle, okay? And watch the potential of that side hustle before you make your move. Start saving. Take the money, okay, and put into some investments, solid ones, such as real estate, all right? Solid investments that if I walk off of this job tomorrow, if they take this away from me, I got money coming in. So I need you to start making some plans for your life, plan Bs. You got nothing else to do. You don't have nothing better to do. You don't want to put yourself in such an insecure position in your family. So make your plan B and get out of there. Go live. Go find happiness. Do not live stuck. Nobody wants that. All right. To the next question. You want to transition to full-time entrepreneur lifestyle, but you have your job and you need to keep it for certain reasons. Financial security. Okay? Guys, I decided to keep my job for as long as I possibly could before I decide to go in, because I had my side hustle. So in between jobs, I did have a backup, right? Was it enough? No, I still needed that, because entrepreneurship is it's tricky. Your money, it doesn't come in when you really want it to all the time, right? People don't want to pay sometimes, okay? And they take a long time and there's so much delay. I know how this works. So you always need more than one. Stop putting all the eggs into one basket. And that's exactly what you're doing with your job. So you need to start, every business starts from part-time basis. Start your entrepreneur lifestyle from part-time, but you can't just quit your job and go into full-time entrepreneurship. That's not wise. So start it off as a side hustle, register it. When you leave your 9 to 5, you go home and you take your 5 to 10 and work your business. And when you can see how well this business will sustain you and that you are in a position to get certain loans, and you can take this risk of faith now and go, I need you to leave your job. It might get shaky for a while, like a boat out there, on the water. The water gets rough at times. But you're going to stick with it until you make it, because that's going to define your true character, not your job. Your job is easy. You get a job description, you got a degree for this, you know how to do it in your sleep. That's not building any muscle on you. There's no creativity, no innovation, nothing. You don't have the best quality of life on these jobs. So I'm going to need you to take this leap of faith, but start off on a part-time basis. All right? I hope that answers your question. Now to my friend who sent me, and this is another male. The question I just answered was from a female. Now this question, why am I stuck on a job even though it doesn't pay me well? All right, so here's the thing. someone would say it's just your choice, but I would like to give you this perspective. The choice is literally the symptom of the root cause. So you need to find the root cause of you being in a position that you know is not giving you security. It's not giving you, it plays with your ego, right? And that level of security that you have to give to your family, it's not there. And I want you to look at the fact that it could very well be a symptom. The root cause is probably fear. Okay, you have a fear here. I'm rhyming now. You have a fear here, bro. What is the fear? Is it a lack of knowledge? In your skill set? Is it a low self-confidence? Do you just not have the courage? I mean, bro, what happened to you? What happened to you to put you in a position where you are afraid to give yourself what you truly deserve? Right? You know you deserve more, but you're still out here hustling this little thing, and you call it work, and you're probably slaving yourself to do it, right? But at some point, you're going to have to stop doing that to yourself, because you're borderline fearful of something. So I want you to take a moment out of your busy schedule doing the thing, that's not productive. I need you to take a moment and say, what is wrong with me? I mean, who did this to me? Right? But I don't want you to dwell there. I need you to focus on the abundance that is ahead and let go of the past. The present, you're already dealing with this because you're realizing that, but wait a minute, why am I doing this? This doesn't make sense. And you want to move. And I know your next question to me is going to be how, and we're going to get into the hows. Help me answer this question, Anderson.
Yeah, the key to this is you definitely need to market yourself. So he has to expand beyond just his dependency on that specific job and start to expand into areas such as LinkedIn by creating and investing in himself. The second thing is this: when choosing a job, never choose a job for money. It's very important that you choose a job based on where that is leading you, based on the destination, and the things that you can learn along the way so that you can use into future career opportunities.
All right. And so for him, but he has this, I think there's an issue for him with deciding how to move on from what he's doing, that he knows it's not working. What's going to be a how that you would give to him?
Well, we know that everyone has responsibilities. So many times people hang in toxic environments simply because they don't see that there is greater opportunity ahead. But it's very important that when you're trying to make that transition, that either you try one, maintain your current job while you are searching for new opportunities. That is when you're marketing yourself, putting yourself up there. And as soon as those new opportunities, you can shift. The second aspect is that you move by faith. Sometimes the environment is so toxic that you need to get out right away, because that is your biggest hindrance. The job becomes so stressful. It blinds you, it blocks you. You can no longer perform how you ought. So it starts to increase health issues and all of that. So sometimes it is urgent. It's like, emergency case. You just got to get out. You got to just make that decision and say enough is enough and just move.
I agree. That's a good response. All right. Thank you, Anderson. Is there anything else you wanted to contribute to Stuck Places before you go?
Okay, yeah. So let's talk about fear. The fear of taking action.
Come on. How do you address fear in dealing with stuck places?
When dealing with your fear, overcoming your fear, it is very important for a person to understand the bigger picture and to understand that everyone was created with purpose. when you look, let's take at the animal kingdom. There are different sizes of animals. Each has to fetch for survival. Each has to fight. But how do they overcome? One, by knowing their strengths and weaknesses. You overcome your fears by one, understanding your strength, understanding your weakness. Where you are weak, you invest in trying to develop that skill, or you try to find a way to bridge it. Where you are strong is where you have to focus. So when you focus on your strength, it is less stressful, and then you can accomplish much more than focusing on the negativity, what you cannot do. So the third aspect of it is taking action. Even if something, many times people fear of, what if I take the wrong decision? What if I go wrong? Even if you make the wrong decision, there is a lesson to learn along the way. Successful people are not successful because they never do mistakes. I think one of the biggest problems in society is that we are living to please people or please men more than pleasing ourselves. When we fail to take action because we are thinking, what will my spouse say? What will my family say? What will my friends think of me? Will they say I'm stupid? Will they say, you're a fool for doing such? But the thing is, take action, because along the way, as you are taking action, and be a fast learner, learn from your mistakes. And as you learn from your mistakes, you start to grow, you start to develop. People, if we take Thomas Edison, who invented the light bulb, it is said that he failed 10,000 times. That is, I want to encourage somebody today. It doesn't matter how much times you fail. It doesn't matter how much time you fall down. As long as you have life, get back up and try again.
Yes.
Get back up, try again. Just take it when we all were born. We were baby. We never came out and started to run. Mm-hmm. We all had it to creep. We all had it to make those baby steps. But look at us when you turn an adult. You don't have to think how you're going to walk. It happens automatically. It's the same way with the journey to success in life. There are times we will fall down. There are times you got to creep. There are times but take action. Keep on trying. And it will come a day that you will definitely perfect that. And then the rest is history.
Thank God for Thomas Edison, right? And the many others who have tried and never stopped trying until we get that invention that has changed our lives for good. So you've heard it here. Thank you so much, Anderson Fox. We appreciate your contribution today on All Things Extraordinary with Kish. And I'll chat with you next time.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye now. Stay tuned, guys. I'm going to make an attempt to answer all of you. How am I doing? Help me here. Let me know. Next question. Listen up.
So what do you do when you are stuck between two jobs? One pay better than the other, but one is more convenient.
Okay, so the phone kind of interrupted, but I got it. Her question is, you have two job offers. One pays more, but the other one by location is more convenient. It pays less. What is the decision? So many of these questions are relating to career choices, the jobs, and how we're functioning in our lives. And if you will realize now, guys, that a stuck place for most of us is our career. It's our career options. And I, being a career development coach for a while, teaching people how to get jobs, how to keep jobs, and what to do if you lose a job, I have come across a lot of people who need help counseling in making career decisions that will sharpen, improve their lives. All right. So here's the thing. This is a very easy one to solve, in my opinion. Okay. Let me just put it out there. Maybe because I've been here before. I have been here before. So one pays more, but it's farther away. If I take this one that pays less, it's so much more convenient. Now, this is a numbers question. You're going to start to do your math. I need you to get some statistics here. I need you to look at the cost for travel. I need you to look at the cost for you to do each job. Because sometimes the one that pays more will eventually bring you less income because of where it's at. So you're getting a job for $20 an hour, but it's probably about 20 miles away. Okay? And this one job here that's paying you $15 an hour is just right down the street. 3-5 miles and you're there. Now, if you work the math and you realize that the numbers are coming up in a better way for you to take care of your bills, manage your transportation cost, and paying for gas, yes, right? Unless you have a Tesla, you still have to pay for to get charged, right? But the gas price is ridiculous. And that's always going to be an area of instability for us. But you really want to do your numbers and figure out what's best for you and your family. How soon can I get home, make dinner for my husband? How soon can I get home to get the kids off the school bus? These are all the factors that are going to come into play for you to answer this question for yourself. And then you're also going to focus on which one is going to improve your skills. Which one is a better career fit? Which one gives you a better peace of mind and less stress? And make that big girl decision. I know you can do it. All right. On to the next question. Sometimes I feel stuck in a bad relationship. Oh yeah, I was waiting for this question. Because one of the worst places to be is to be stuck with someone that they make you sad. They don't bring out the best in you. They make you worry. They trigger insecurities, bad memories. They put you in a bad place. It's not what you want. And you know it. This is not really what I want for my life. This doesn't feed the desire that I have. This is not my dream partner. This is not fulfilling. No, it's not what I want. Eventually, this will affect intimacy. It will cause resentment. And you will treat this person unfairly. And they will probably be the sweetest person in the world, trying their best to offer you all that you need, but they just cannot provide it. Let them go. It's not fair. It's not fair to the individual for you to have them be there as a convenience, because you are getting some benefits and that's why you're there. You're filling the gap. You're passing the time. However, you're doing the other person an injustice, where they could go on to find someone who wants them for them and the way they are. That's their person. Let them go find their person and you go find yours. I know you're afraid of being alone. I know the feeling of being single and not having someone there. Yeah, but be single and deal with that. Because if you go into another relationship because you want that cushion and to use somebody to help you to cope, you're going to be the worst person to be in a relationship with. True talk. So I need you to release them and release your own self. Do the work on you that needs to be done. And that's how you're going to attract your person. Do you want your person? All right. Well, if you want your person, let this one go. All right. Because you're wasting their time and you're actually wasting yours if you think about it. Deal with the real issue. And that's how I'm going to end that question. Let me see if there's any other question before I move on. I believe we're coming to the end. This one final question here, though. This one here really touched my heart. I'm financially stuck. I'm in a stuck place. I cannot make it out of here. It feels like I'm just going around in a circle. I always want to help others who are less fortunate, but I'm just not able to because I cannot help myself. It's very bad, and I'm stuck and I don't know what to do. You hear a question like this, and it saddens me because there is so much that this person can do to not live this way. But they said they're stuck. They don't know what to do. Isn't there that famous scripture that says, my people will perish because of a lack of knowledge, which means a lack of information, and which is ignorance. You just need some information, all right? You need some help with information, how to think about life. And so I asked the person, do you feel stuck waiting for the right opportunity, or do you feel stuck in creating the opportunity? The person went on to say, I'm just sick and tired of waiting for the right thing to happen and for something to really happen. And so they answered the question for me. They're waiting for an opportunity rather than creating one. You see that? And I went on to further ask, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is this? How bad is it for you just waiting around for this to change? And also, on that same scale, give me a number. How bad is it for you to create another opportunity? The person said 9, but most times it feels like a 10. Guys, I was crushed. How desperate are you to come out of your stuck place? My answer is, stop numbing yourself. Most times you're just numbing yourself, entertaining yourself, distracting yourself. But you really need to start dealing with the issue and dealing with this issue now. Most opportunities are disguised as problems. They're not real. You need this disguise. You need this stuck place because that's what comes to propel you to go higher. To find the answer and the solution. I mean, if you check out all of these, motivators and very wealthy people, they will tell you they started off very poor. They were probably exactly where you are in that stuck place. I mean, Grant Cardone, I talked about him earlier. He is one of my biggest motivations because that guy's hungry. He's going. He says you're sleeping comfortable, but I'm up. No, he says you're sleeping like you're rich, but I'm up like I'm broke. Whew, he got money. But his mindset is, I am broke. I need more. Nobody ever has enough money. A good friend of mine says it. I think his name is Bill Kane from BCA Studio. Shout out to you. Nobody has enough money. Everybody wants more. But what are we going to do to get it? Right? It's a game that's out here. The people who try to figure out the game get some of this money. The banks have figured it out. The stock market, them brokers, them jokers, they've figured it out. The YouTubers have figured it out. The TikTok stars have figured it out. Everybody who has gone viral, who are getting thousands and thousands of dollars from Amazon and making money from Google, they figured it out. So what were you doing, what are you still doing while you are not figuring out this game? So you need to change your life. And I have some hows here today. I need you to simplify your life. Stop with the whole too much hard work, too much pressure and stress and high blood pressure. Stop. You're doing too much and too much of nothing. That will increase your productivity. You have a lot of excuses. You have a lot of pain and problems. However, I see a possibility where you see a pain. I see an opportunity where you see a problem. There is no problem. And any problem we find is a good thing because now we can solve it. We were created to solve problems. We were put on this earth to be dominant, to make big decisions. Hey, the responsibility that God gave to Adam, name everything you see. Give them their orders. We're made in dominant beings, made in the likeness and the imagination of a great God. We're creators. We have no business out here living like less. We can all be millionaires and we can all have riches. Will it happen? No, I know that. But we can. There are opportunities. Invest in yourself though. Again, my good friend over by BCA Records, when we were discussing this, he made a statement to me and I love it. I like to give credit where credit is due. He said, give a man a fish, he eats for a day. But if you teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime. Don't know where he got that one from, but it's really good. You've heard it before too, haven't you? Because if you give a man a fish and he eats it that day, he's going to keep coming back to you for a fish. But if you teach him how to fish, you never see him again. Because now he's at the pond every day. He has his own fish line. He's getting all kinds of fish out of this water. He gets a bigger net every time he comes. And now he's selling the fish. He's on his own. He's rolling because he learned a life lesson. Your job is the fish that they gave you for the day. That's all your job is. They're never going to teach you how to make and create that job and job opportunity for others. So guess what? While you're on the jobs, I need you to start doing some lessons, some learning. Write things down. How do they manage this business? Who are the key players here? Why do they need me? What's my role? How am I contributing? Stop building people's businesses and dreams and brands while yours just sit down in a stuck place. Don't be an accessory for somebody else's future. What about yours? Build a business. This girl, she wrote the book, How to Buy a Hotel. Black girl. She used to work at the hotel. She come up to being the general manager. And in conversation with the big bosses, she realized not only, because she says she likes to compete. She loves a good competition. And after talking and listening and watching how the game works, which is what I'm giving you this homework to do on your job, how does this really work? She realized she didn't just need to be the general manager. She needs to own the hotel. That girl owns a hotel. I'm going to find her right now, tell you her name. I want to bring her on this show. Yeah, Davon Reeves. I follow her on Instagram, How to Buy a Hotel. Read her book, read her story. This book costs $24.99 on Amazon. You can probably find it on Audible. But you need to be reading these kinds of things. How do you get ownership? There is no wealth without ownership. You need to follow also that gifting, that ministry. Sometimes your ministry can open up doors for income. So listen, check back on your gift for a moment. Please look at your talent. You see Shelly and Fraser Price out here? She sharpened her skills. She's the fastest woman. She's collecting goals. And when you're collecting goals and these awards, you're collecting money. You're getting deals. You're getting endorsements. She's going to be rich and wealthy and set up a great life. We can watch her and be entertained by her, or we can decide to do something. But I need you to get up and do something. You're not old. You're not sick. Do something. Okay? Another thing I want you to focus on here. Change your approach and the way you perceive everything. Wealthy people all have one thing in common. Not one thing, they have many things in common. They rise early. The early bird catches the most worm. They do more in a day than you do. Stop being so lazy. You go to one job, you come in, you're tired, you watch TV, and you go to bed and you expect to get better. That system, change it. What does the 1% have that you don't? There's so many videos on YouTube that I've been checking out with this kind of thread in their titles. Why are they in the 1% and how can I get in it? That's what I'm after. A friend of mine told me that, listen, he said he worked 3 jobs. He was working towards a goal. And I don't recommend working 3 jobs unless you have a short-term goal. You have a plan. There's no one to blame. You see an opportunity here, just get to your goal. So here's the how. I have 4 hows here. Okay. Number 1, you need a mindset reset. This is an opportunity. Your stuck place right now is an opportunity for you to get to your destiny. It didn't come to just challenge you and you stay stuck. It's an opportunity for you to realize your destiny. Okay? Number 2, you need some knowledge. You need to learn something. And coming from that, I would ask you, who are you listening to? That's your problem. What are you watching? You all have your phones in your hands. Your phones are no longer just phones. Your phones are money-making machines. Your phones are your universities. Your phones are your teachers and your coaches and your mentors. It's not just a phone. But you have to know how to use your phone. Leverage social media. Leverage connections with people. You can find anybody to talk to online right now. I'm getting some guests for this show. I just use my phone. I found their emails. I get in there. I send them messages. My phone is working for me. I may be paying monthly for my iPhone, but guess what? That iPhone is putting money in my pocket. That's 10 times more than what I'm paying for it every month. Think about that for a moment. That little investment in a better phone, some of you, that's all you need, just a better phone. That will take a better picture. That will have a better sound quality. You put it in front of you and you start doing some work. That's money. Can you create an online course with your phone? Yes, you can. Can you sell me that? All right. So who has your ears? Whoever has your ears has your destiny. You cannot sit down and listen to 5 to 10 preaching messages every day and then do nothing else with your life. You need to be watching some tutorials. You need to be sharpening your skills. And then do something with all of your learning. You just learn something to have a conversation with your best friend every day. And you only talk to the people in your home, but you never have any new friends. You never made a new circle. If you need some people to network with and to pull off an event, you can, because you don't have enough people that you talk to. Who are you listening to and who are you talking to? That's your problem. Another how. Take action immediately. I heard this from Grant Cardone as well. You need to start making a move and make the move now. If you wait, you're going to fall back in your same old pattern. Because most of us are stuck because of our patterns and our cycles that we have created for ourselves. And we never sit to itself and say, self-change now. Self-change. Because if you change, then you will get to the new you, which is where we want to get to. I need you to stop listening to those things. I need you to train yourselves. Get on YouTube. Find ways in which you can start making quick money, passive income. Cut out some of this hard work. Passive income. Broker something. Be the third middleman. Affiliate something. Become a brand ambassador. Collect those affiliate percentages. Those are easy, quick monies. And then finally, thank you, Mr. Kane, write it down. Hey, can we write some things down? What's the power of writing things down? So he reminded me that he heard a quote. If you have a goal, who said it? You remember who said it? If you have a goal and you don't write it down, it's just a dream. It's just an idea. But if you write it, then that's you taking action on it. When you can write a thing, I'm telling you, there's something very powerful about writing and making budgets and plans, putting the numbers on the paper, pencil it out, okay? You remember that terminology? Pencil out the thing. All right, because, and again, this is Bible, Habakkuk chapter 2, write the vision and make that plain. He who reads it can run with it. That's called writing a business plan. Write the vision down. When Vision Board started, oh my God, that thing went viral. There are people who make businesses and have great career and income from teaching people how to write vision board, because vision boards work. You manifest it. It comes to pass. It's a faith work. You write it and you can see it every day. You can rehearse it. You're one step closer. Just try it. I promise you. Try it. Start writing the book. Because that book is going to change your life. It will become a bestseller. All right. Nobody knew what those Harry Potter books would do. J.K. Rowling, that's not even her real name. Write the books. Okay, so I think I've nailed it for today, that is. I don't know, guys, but I just really wanted to try to help us out of stuck place. And now I'm going to transition and tell you what's coming up for the next show. All right, you ready for it? If this was helpful to you, leave me a comment, send in more questions, share, subscribe. We want to continue to change our lives. And I'll be following up with some of you who sent me these questions, because I see so many areas of opportunity here. I don't see a problem. You're just talking to the wrong person. You just needed to say something. Open your mouth. Please say things so that you can get help. And if you're out there and you know how to help some of these folks who have sent in their questions, reach out to me and say, Kish, I have a solution. Kish, I have something. I have a message. This is my book. This is what I'm teaching here. And I can help. Come on this show and partner with me to help people out of stuck places. Thank you. Okay, so guys, the Queen of England, the longest living monarch, has passed. And I want to honor her just by even mentioning her name. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. This is the longest episode so far, but thank you for your patience. I will see you again next week, Thursday. Come back home. Bye now.